Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Mindsight, and we're going to go ahead and do the Clearview Weekly Report. It's two shows combined into one. So basically what we're going to do is we're changing everything up, and when we change everything up, we're going to do well. So basically, what we're doing, in regards to the way that it's all playing out, you can't get anything really like as much accomplished as you want to, anything on a big scale, but on a small scale, you can. You really can. The way that it's playing out in politics, to the way that it's playing out globally, the way that G7 went this week, and then, because I could already say, like, it was already cut. And then when you basically went to it, it goes, no, it was done. It was absolutely done. So when you see it, you go, holy cow. When the Jack of Clubs comes out and you have this whole thing going on, I can't even believe how hard it was to actually get the Nine of Clubs. So it really is this like contentment of meetings going on, because we already know what's going on as far as Iran and Israel is very point blank. And when you see this and you see this Four of Hearts, and you have to actually go through everything, and you have to say that all of it is like known. And they're like, there's politics right there. But that's okay. Why? Classified, sensitive. I'd have to say the way that it portrayed and also like blew out. And that's why many people are like, you can't. When you see this, you have to actually say it. 2 4s and a 3. 2 hearts and a diamond. This was heinous. So we're talking about Ukraine, and we're talking about Iran, and we're talking about Israel. We already know what's coming next, exactly what the agenda was with the last presidential term. And then when that actually comes through, you can't even see it come through whatsoever. It's so heinous on a way to a known that you can't even get your laundry done, because the energy is nasty. Those who are sensitive to energy, this is how we're sitting all week. Just do the best you can. Just literally do the best you can. Small town politics, they're looking at small instances. So you'll have trash near the drop off for everything. Or then you saw more cats with issues and dogs with issues. And then you see how you have sneakers in the road, and then you have more car accidents and more strange occurrences. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. We have been through this before as a country. When you see the 5 of diamonds, you go to the 10 of clubs. It is the community watches. It is the gatherings together as groups of clubs and organizations and unions, and their like discussion of how to get it like done appropriately and quickly, because many of us are really not well financially and healthy. So when you see this and you see the 6 of spades, it will come in as like messages of like second opportunities. And when you see this 6 and this queen, you go, there it goes. There it goes. When you see this, you go, the 2 of hearts. Nope. Be picky and choosy and wise as comes towards you, because the Ace of Spades with all this, like, it's like 3s coming out. So when it comes in as 3s, you can't even do it out loud. You can't even do it out loud. It really, really, really hurts. You gotta literally almost tune everything out. This is how it is already starting, where people are chiming in their own way, speaking low, and it's okay. It really is, because we gotta get it out. When they're speaking low, it's not on the low, but basically they're like, did you know? You like, they start with, did you know anyway? You can't even get out. You can't even. So when you look at it firmly, How are you going to get an hour show out of this? We already know what to do. We've seen it with Afghanistan. We've seen it with Iraq. We've seen it with Syria. We've seen it with Black Hawk Down. We've seen it everywhere. We've seen it politically on how they all start acting and portraying in the media. It's meetings and meetings, and what else is on the table? Small town antics. So that's why, I have to say, I would have to agree with many people that the No Kings protest to the whole idea of Pride Month. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen on Juneteenth. And then I actually am very curious to see what is like July 4th, because all of a sudden people are on the same page where they're like, I don't think we should really have a get together. There's something about these summer colds, and it's still unsettling on the way it all played out all over the place. And I feel it like I'm already there. Here it is. Let's go to the White Sage Tarot. Let's try to keep it simple and light tonight. For the next week, watch the meetings, watch the news, watch anything else that you can pick up on how to prepare yourself. Basically, when I see it, I was like, I swear to God, they already did it. Know all your options everywhere. When you see the Three of Wands, you're not going to see it coming on a knock on the door. When you see the Two of Wands, and it's not fear-mongering and it's not war-mongering, it is how we've all lived through this. So when you see the Two of Wands, you basically can almost predict the weather by the time you get up in the morning and the way the day is going to play out. When you see the Five of Cups, you go, there was something in the news on the way that they say it, or the way they blink, or the way they're they do these things to where there's no rest. You feel like you're even when you sleep all night, you're running all night long, working all night long. This is the biggest problem. Again, it came right out. It is financial secure months when this happens, and if it happens, alleviation of difficulty. Where is it? Where is this alleviation of difficulty? Starseed Oracle. Andromedan energy drinks. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. When you see it and you go, you can't even believe it, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'll try that. I'll try that for work. Isolation, physical connection, community. It's odd. Pave a new path, be the leader we wish you had. So that actually brings me right to the incident of 50 birds that died, that fell out of the sky. And then when I look at it, I see Epstein. And then I see Epstein-Barr. And then I look at Roseanne. And then I see it all play out, and I say, there it is. Contentment to contingencies. Stop, embrace winter, cosmic rune. Plan for having set up already to help you if you need it for the winter. You can't even get it out at all. Artist manifestation, creative accountability. It's going to come in hard and far and strong. So when you look at us and you go, activated earth, you can't even say it. So when I say ley lines, those are on the axis of the earth. So when you see the old globe and everything to it and towards it, you go back to school, look at the globe, and you see the lines around the globe and down the globe, And when you span it, that's a ley line. And when you see it, you go, where is the coordinates? Where is it through? Literally look at the trees. The way the wind is blowing towards like everything, you'll see it. Portals, doors opening, you decide, reward, wild card. I can't even believe it, how hard it was to actually see like Lionsgate portal. So trust the wave you come in. Time is not running out. I feel like it's like relief. I don't know why it's relief. When I see this Earth School life lesson, soul growth, study, higher learning, a lot of people going back to school. Longing for home, homesick with stars. Is there something that was happening like in college? I don't know why everyone was so upset. They're like, have you been in a bubble? Like, we've been protesting. I'm like, no, really. When I say it like that as a psychic, something actually really did happen in college. Now, let's look at this a little bit deeper. We're not at the point of a martial law. We're not at the point of maritime law. We're not at the part of like military law with involvement. But we have enough policies and procedures and protocols. Havoc. Instinct. When it looks at this and he says it really like the wind blows through, it flows through with energy. Make sure you're watching like everything that a way that it should be. Limit your time if you're someone who actually gets agitated. As far as like medical, make sure you have everything ready. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's really like within a week, and then I see a 3-4 week stop. Then I see like it wants to be 9 weeks, then it's 9 months stop. Then it's 10 months straight out. Can't even see it coming. Can't even. When I see this, I actually say, watch the summer for fires. When I look at everything, when I see Minnesota, I have to say that guy is odd. He is odd. You can't explain how odd he is. It's not even like a Ted Kaczynski. It's not anything of like any other shooting that's ever happened of untimely deaths of these politicians. When I see right out, I actually have to say, like, you can't even go outside too much. Again, like I see a lot of racketeering hidden, highly hidden. When I see it, it has to do with like a type of wealth that's odd. When I see this, it's a gift. The wealth is gifted. Gifted. I don't know why I go back to the vapes. Like collected, like you go to like a drop box for medications. And when I see this and I go through, I go, there we go. There we go. So when you actually chime in and you actually look through it, you can't even see a go or a stop or a way. You have to actually go through it. And so when you see the drop box, you go, I don't think that should be there. But the way that guy is in Minnesota, he's so odd. You got to play the number 35. They're like, caught it, racketeering. You can't even get away with it anymore. The way that he was grouping all his numbers of people on a way to a run that you can't even see it. Like you're looking at the roommate and saying, how did you not pick up on that? How did you not see that? You go, there it is, living. All of a sudden, it's like they wake up and they say, here we go. So when I actually look at it, Son of Sam, the way that it played out with like Charles Manson, just look at those. You're going to figure it out right away. All right. So let's look at the Gold Tarot. What else do we need to know for the week? All right. Literally, everyone is going to church on something. Inhibitions, planted, manifested, to the highest degree unknown and none. You can't even get it out. You can't even. When you look at this and you see the Page of Cups, you go, you can't even see it. When you see the Ace of Pentacles, you go, holy cow, no money again. I can't even do that. Look at this. Look at this. Planted, no strength, Chariot. There really isn't much, but it is enough to say, hold up the phone. Hold up the phone. What is coming in through? When you see the Magician, trickery, absolutely. When you see death, holy cow, it's sharp ending. And you go, that's highly dictative on a cutout. Because then it goes to a partnership. Nasty justice. Nasty. Like decision, like we said. It's still going on. You hear it. Like you still hear it going on. There's like no way to learn it. Like you've already been through it. What are we digging at? What are we digging at? I see it like it's a block. Getting through the block. What do we need to know? What do we need to knock out? What do we need to KNOW? I can't even see it. It's right there though. It's coming in. It will come in through Iran. And we had that issue with the oil field. We had the issue with the birds flying and they died. We had the airplanes, birds. There's like 3 to 5 meanings of bird. Helicopters, stuff like that. Railroad, steel, theft. Like they're like so simple. This type of criminal. You can't even. That's what's getting everyone angst. So when I see this and I see the Lovers card, it really is this like partnership, marriage to contract or whatever that hasn't been seen yet. It was so quiet and unbeknownst that you look at like this contract or a piece of paper. It's like one piece of paper with like 5 words. It's like a Catch Me If You Can movie. The 4 of Wands goes, don't even. Happy. Secured finances. When you actually look at this and say, it really was not that hard to actually go get it or anything, it had to do with nasty legal, judicial, law enforcement, and contracts. Not into this day. Then it's at rest. Where are we digging at right now? Alleviation of a struggle. Here we go. Let's go to the Pleiadian Oracle. Trying to dig away at this. So see, trees, we're trying to get it out. Like I'm feeling it from other people right now. Get it out. Birds, eagle, hawk, banks. Types of banks. coffee shops. I'm seeing coffee shops. It's not a big deal. Like everyone is, so you don't have to be feeling. All of a sudden, mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and auntie and uncle come in and like, I need to talk to you. Did you make sure that you went to the dentist? Did you make sure? Did you do this? Did you make sure? And make sure you have enough. Everyone starts coming in. They're like, you swear to God, it's in your imagination. Then all of a sudden, celebrities and people, everyone online starts talking about it. And when you see it, you hear it on the radios. It's coming back again. It is coming back again. So when you see this and you see the light technology, they're really, really, you can't even see this coming whatsoever. You'll feel it. Just like going into the area, like you go into the store or the bank or to the doctor, and you sit there like, I don't really like how it feels in here. Cosmic unity, all of a sudden everyone's on the same page by September. And then like, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to say what I said. This is what happened to me. Everyone has a story of what's going on. You can't even believe it. Over the last 4 years. All right, let's go to the Literary Witches Oracle. You're not going to be contented this week on the way it is. Just do the best that you can. That's what I'm hearing. When you boil it down, you know when to call 911. You know when to report all forms of communication on you see something, you hear something. You watch the news, you can put your 2 cents in. That's why, we have political parties, because they all see something different. Togetherness. I see a more wanting to be togetherness of like changing it up. There's something about like sensing something. When I see this and I see the knife and I see the braid, and I see this, that has to do with a common loss. Intention, conflict resolution, braid, identity, survival, the opinion of others. Yep. It's like all of a sudden everyone tries going into it. They're like, you know what? I think I will probably look into this. What else do we need to know? Untamed venture, lore, ancient past, rebellion. That's all you need to know. Nasty, like inappropriateness. There usually is no warning when it happens. The Akashic Tarot. What do we see in this deck? As far as the weekly report, it is as goes. As I said last week, it really was going to do something of like a better path, but it really took a turn. And I said it was going to take this turn, this odd turn, and you really couldn't do much about it. When I see the War of the Roses, it is a conflict of intention, of resolution. When I see add some, it is a continuance on. That's why I'm hearing contingencies. When I see the bird's nest, you're not really going to look at towers or birds or trees. When you see the willow in reverse, you're actually going to look at the ground. You're actually going to test the soil. And this is all within like the next week. When I see like tomorrow and Wednesday, You can't even believe how all of a sudden everyone's attuned and in tune, and they're all on the same page by the 24th. And they say, go for it by July. It's not written. Not written. There's no game around it that actually escalated it. So when I see the Queen of Keys, just watch and observe. Watch and observe. Winged messengers. It's like I saw it, I heard it, I felt it out in the public. Here it is. And you go about. So when you see horse, you see eagle, and you see fish, occult, yes, hidden, but I don't see like witchcraft, because like the energy is snake. I would say look to Native American indigenous roots, all forms of it, even like every country. So let's look at the crystal quartz and exactly what we need to know. Here we go. So feeling like I'm running a marathon for like the rest of the week, it goes to show you have a lot of control. And when you have a lot of control, you couldn't even sound off. And then it goes right through it. All of a sudden, everyone's like, you really actually didn't say much. You just said this, and it played right out. That is how it is. Now, when it actually boils down and out to way everyone's day is, I feel like phone calls are going to be antsy and not the best of tone of voice to presentation. I actually see more ornerious, like all of a sudden it starts coming through. When I see this new moon, I see it cut out and I see it all fly through. And when it all flies through, you actually see the bird. You see the bird, which I really hate this. This is the things that are the trolling really bad. You can't even like put a due date when you can actually go into court and talk about it or like file a complaint. It's like when it's done, it's done. When I see residual, old things coming back into your life, they just show up and you know, for a lack of a better term, they really come back. Even people probably you're not supposed to be with. Oh, Lord, people are going to love this. Now, with that being said, that's really all I can say as a psychic medium. As far as like visiting nurse, stay-at-home mom, military wife, homeschooling, do the best that you can every day because you're going to get bombarded and you're going to be exhausted doing everything yourself. Start now. That's all it is. So with that being said, you already know what to do for emergency preparedness. And there it is. That's all you need to know. So leave a like, a comment, a share, an email is greatly appreciated. A subscribe. Readings and classes on Patreon, and we will talk to you soon.